And yes, your ears are not deceiving you. That is Bing Crosby you're hearing in the background. Welcome, welcome, my friends. It is Wednesday, the 22nd of December. It is Christmas Eve. Nice to see you. Welcome back to the John Lavenia Success Mastermind. I'm your guy, Glen Henderson. So happy to be with you. I'll tell you, like Rodney Dangerfield used to say, I'm all right now, but last week I was in rough shape. Under the weather a little bit, but back in business now. Nice to see you, Bob, Missy. Linda, we know, is listening in carefully from her place of business. Nice to see you. The Money Mama, as always, is with us. Hello, Lindsay, and the man himself, John Lavenia. So glad you could join us. And I have a couple of things in mind today. I am deep into the Christmas thing now. You know that Christmas is a thing. And by the way, you like my virtual background? Not bad, eh?
That's nice.
Well, here's the thing. It ain't virtual. Yeah, this is our real life. Well, let me put it to you this way. I assume that the ladies who are with us today, I'm making a terrible sexist assumption right now. I'm assuming that the ladies are somewhat familiar with the cultural holiday phenomenon known as the Hallmark Christmas movie. Yes? You've heard of these? Never heard of them? Okay, anyway, yes, Paula is a huge fan. I always make sure it is my responsibility during this festive season of the to see to it that there is always a box of Kleenex at Paula's side table next to the recliner during the Hallmark Christmas movie season. And I have to keep calling the doctor myself because for some strange reason my allergies keep acting up whenever these movies are on. It's the strangest thing. Normally it's pretty dry here in Houston, not a lot of pollen in the air, but for some reason this month, I don't get it. But, I'll muddle through somehow. And so there's that. And the reason I brought that up, the Hallmark movies, you know the scene at the end. Most of the movies have similar titles, right? A Wish for Christmas, Reunion in Hometown Christmas, that sort of thing. The final scene where boy finally realizes or girl finally sees him for who he really truly is and love springs eternal. It always takes place in a beautiful scene, right? The Christmas banquet hall in the town hall, and they've got the trees, the beautiful Christmas trees with the decorations and the garlands and everything. These trees, I think I'd mentioned before, are yeah, I know, it's so predictable, John, and we watch it anyway. And still, we use up the Kleenex every time. There's just no getting around it. Anyway, all of these trees and garlands and decorations and baubles are made by a wonderful company named Balsam Hill. They're based, I think, in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. This is one of our two, count them two, Balsam Hill Christmas trees. These babies ain't cheap, but as you can see, you hang them up there and you can kind of see where your money went, right? Gorgeous. Absolutely. This one I think is an 11-footer. So pretty nice. Yep. We love them. Paula just takes great delight in decorating them every year. And I help. I actually put them up and then she decorates them. We're a pretty good team. Anyway, so that's our thing. I'm curious, what are your plans for Christmas this year? Christmas week, New Year's Eve. I would love to hear from you. I should love to make this an interactive general session, at least as for Daisy's here. Nice to see you, Daisy. Interactive general session. The last one, before the big day, before Christmas Day. I'll start with me. I have a very good idea what one of our members will be doing this Christmas Day, and that may come up in a moment. But as for us, we are having, believe it or not, a very mellow, quiet, relaxed, just us kind of Christmas Day. Paula has gone out and bought us some absolutely fabulous, ugly Christmas jammies. You believe it? You may even get to see a picture of these fabulous, ugly Christmas jammies. And Missy is grimacing already. No, Missy, it's true. What we're about to show you, you can't unsee, okay? Just so you know. And there's that for Christmas Day, Saturday, Christmas Day. And Sunday, Boxing Day, will probably be another fairly quiet day for us. And then Monday, the 27th, looks like a pretty big day. You know why? Because of what one of our other members is going to be doing Christmas Day. I think I'm not telling tales out of school to mention that on Christmas Day, our fearless leader, Father John Lavinia, and his family will be hitting the road. They are actually, in case you hadn't heard, they are actually moving house from the great state of Arizona. As I understand it, they're heading wagons east to settle in the great state of Florida. And along the way, thank you, Missy. Nice shirt. You can blame Paula for this one. Most of the cool stuff that I'm wearing, Paula either bought for me or recommended. So they are heading the road, and come Monday, it looks like, barring unforeseen circumstances, John, Shannon, and Trinity will be rolling through Houston and stopping off for lunch with us. Yes! We're working on some things, so yes, go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, and then I think we're going to be hitting Mobile, Alabama that night, and might see Lindsay over there.
Out freaking standing. Fabulous. I know Lindsay's excited. Yes! So that's Monday. And then Wednesday the 29th, and I should like to extend a cordial invitation to all members of the John Lavinia Success Mastermind. Wednesday the 29th of December, we are throwing our annual Christmas week do at our place. What have we got ready? What have we got prepared? It's going to be mulled wine, traditional British mince pies in a variety of flavors. We may actually have a glazed spiral ham or some such, and other things, other kinds of desserts and bites, and two
Christmas pudding.
Christmas pudding. You know, that's still under discussion, Gail. I'll let you know. Two particular libations that may be of interest to some. One of them is called Christmas. We got this recipe from a TV show, a British cooking show called The Hairy Bikers. These guys, yeah, they're hairy, pretty hirsute, and they ride their Harleys all over the kingdom, swinging by restaurants and shops and trying out new recipes and doing different things. The past few years, they've done more healthy cooking type stuff, but they also do things such as share a recipe for Christmas pudding vodka. Our Christmas pudding vodka has been, it's a pretty fascinating recipe. Think of taking all the ingredients, the cloves, the orange zest, the cinnamon, you name it, right? The nutmeg. Dump it in a big plastic jar and then drown that in a couple of bottles of top shelf vodka. And then put it in the fridge. Ours has been in the fridge for, I want to say about 2 weeks now. Something like that. You take it out every day and you shake it up, and holy moly. Yeah. There's another one that's, well, you know, when it's done, You strain it through some cheesecloth into a bottle, and you serve it out as a dessert, almost like a dessert liqueur sort of thing. The other one is it's called Toddka. You ever heard of Toddka? Neither had I. You know the original Werther's original hard candies. You know the little caramel deals. What you do is you buy yourself a big bag of Werther's originals. You unwrap them, drop them all into a big jug. Then top that off with a couple of bottles of top shelf vodka. Put that in the fridge. That's in the garage fridge downstairs. Also been in there a couple of weeks. Let's just say, and I share this from, well, from the Department of hashtag asking for a friend kind of thing. I share from the personal experience of someone very close to me that Toddka is the sort of dessert libation best taken in medicinal-sized doses, if you know what I mean. But it's fabulously tasty. Anyway, there will be the Christmas pudding vodka and the Toddka and the mulled wine and mince pies, and everyone, you are all invited Wednesday, the 29th of December. The time for the party is, as we like to say, from 3 p.m. Central Time until the last person leaves. So it'll be that kind of party. So what have you got going for Christmas? Well, please, tell me what's happening. Unmute yourself, put your hand up. I'd love to hear what you're going. I do have something that I'm going to share with us a little bit later on, but I'd love to hear from you. What's on your calendar for Christmas? Missy.
Bob and I are going to my sister's Christmas Eve. We are not invited to the other sisters on Christmas Day.
Uh-oh.
But I am in the forgiveness. I forgiving her. She's a brat. She's always been a brat, but she needs to be forgiven. And we are Scrooging this Christmas. We are unscrooging ourselves further. And we are going to do Christmas in our hearts. I don't know if we're going to run down the stairs as fast as he ran. Remember that scene where he runs after the man?
Yes.
But we are going to really, especially at this time, do as much as we can to do that.
Excellent.
Not wait for someone to visit us from the other realm before we get it done.
You will be visited this night by 3 spirits. Yes, I love it. Love it. Something you said, Missy, about your sister and the situation there. It reminds me of a saying that I heard. I forget who said it. Forgiveness cannot change the past, but it can enlarge the future. It's a good one, eh? Something to think about. Thank you, Miss Gail. What's on your mind for this Yule time?
Okay. We are having a different Christmas than we normally do. Normally we celebrate on the 24th with the whole family together, and we all come together. The kids make Christmas cookies. Then we go to church. We go to a Chinese buffet for dinner. And when we come back, Santa's already been and all the gifts are under the tree. And we have a great time. And then Christmas morning, we all go home and we have our own family Christmas thing. But this year, I have 3 grandchildren, 13, 11, and 10. And a couple of weeks ago, the 10-year-old, her mother said to her, go up and bring me your Christmas list to Santa. And she came down, and she was up there for a while. And she came down, and then she said to her mother and father with her head down, she said, before I give you the list, please don't get sad and please don't get upset. But I don't believe in Santa anymore. And she was so concerned about how they would feel. And she's such a compassionate little girl. But anyway, and she said, and I don't believe in the Tooth Fairy or Easter Bunny anymore either. And then because of that, we've had to change it's turned out to be a good thing that we can't celebrate like we normally do, because my daughter, my youngest daughter, she works in a hospital and she has to work on Christmas Eve, and she could not get coverage to take off. So we're going to go down. We'll each have our morning breakfast on Christmas morning. Then I'll go to her house. She lives 2 hours from here. She lives in the mid Hudson of New York.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll all meet there around 12 o'clock, and we'll do the things that we normally did on the 24th. But now the presents will be under the tree. But it will work out because we could only do the one day. So in that respect, it's good. In the other respect, I don't know if we're going to change our, routine next year or not. We'll find out. But that's what we'll be doing.
That's fantastic. Little change, a little variety. Now, you said mid-Hudson, New York. Define mid-Hudson. I know a little something about that region.
That's, do you know Middletown, Orange County, Ulster County?
I do.
Okay. I used to live in Ulster County, and it was about half an hour from Middletown. Where we're going now is Sullivan County, and that's also about a half an hour from Middletown. That's where my daughter lives.
Well, see, there you go. I graduated from university in Briarcliff Manor, Westchester County.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Your old friends of mine live in Tuxedo Junction.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we're further up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about that area, and I worked for a while for Omni Hotels, and had some time up at the big Omni Resort in Saratoga Springs.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
That's
yes, indeed.
way up from where I used to live.
There you go. You talked about your daughter. Oh, you know what? I've got to. Y'all don't leave me now. I've got to go and grab a cable so my computer doesn't die. Listen, let me leave you. Let me sing you along a little Christmas sort of music to keep you going. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has never happened on the Success Mastermind. This is a first. You're witnessing it here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there you go. You said something, Gail, about your granddaughter, who was so concerned. I don't believe. Do you know what Paula and I did yesterday, among the different things? We watched two versions of the same movie. We watched the 1994, starring Mary Elizabeth Perkins and Dylan McDermott, the 1994 version, and the 1947 version starring Maureen O'Hara and Edmund Gwenn. Miracle on
the movie?
Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, yeah. I like them
Believe
both.
in Santa Claus? Hey, as they said, faith is believing in something when common sense tells you not to.
Yeah.
Anyway, so anyhow, yeah.
My son, who's now 36, you've all met him, but he, because of the way Santa always came while we were all together away, he believed right up until he was about 13, I think, and he was getting teased and, Santa's not real. And so one day I was driving him in the car and he's in the back seat and he said, "Mom, it's a sin to tell a lie, isn't it?" And I thought, uh-oh.
Here it comes.
And I said, "Yes, why?" And he said, "Well, Santa's not real, is he?" And I tried to explain it away by the spirit of Santa and all of that. He was so upset. He wrote a poem, which I still have to this day. It's called The Death of Christmas.
Wow.
And it broke my heart. But because he said, "But you were always with us. How did you do it?"
How about that? That is real something. More about that in a moment. Linda, what is on your mind? I know you're at work.
That's okay. Taking a break here. So Christmas for me this year is I'm going to my daughter's for Christmas Eve. We're having a big dinner, and then Christmas morning I'll go back so that I can watch the little one open his gifts from Santa. And then I have the rest of the day off, so we decided that we're going to go out for a romantic dinner down by the shore in Connecticut.
Nice.
Yes, which is the first time I've ever gone out for dinner on Christmas Day.
Hey, first time for
And
everything.
then right, and then Sunday we're going to Bill's daughter's house to have a brunch.
Excellent.
Yeah, so
That-
we'll get to see everybody, which will be nice. And
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. I am determined this year that this year particularly, given all the experiences that we have all had the past year and change and all of that, the good, bad, and indifferent. Hello, Mandy. Driving along, nice to see you. Good, bad, and indifferent. I am determined we're going to enjoy the Christmas Eve. We're not going to do anything fancy or expensive or any of that stuff, and but we really are going to enjoy our Christmas season and New Year's. By the way, New Year's Eve, we are planning a pretty big celebration. We are going to have a staycation, 2-night staycation here in Houston. We are staying at the Houstonian Hotel and Spa. Look it up. It's a pretty nice place. And they've got a huge, really, really big gala New Year's Eve dinner at their restaurant there called Tribute, which is just phenomenal place, and we're really looking forward to it. So that's our plans, and it sounds like everybody's got really, really nice things planned, activities with family. I know that John and Shannon are working. They've got their sleeves rolled up as we speak, and they're working, getting everything boxed and bagged and packed and loaded and ready to hit the road. Hey, John, is that one of the shirts that one of our guys bought for you?
Yeah, thanks for noticing. So yeah, it's just a Harley shirt from Dothan, Alabama.
Dothan, Alabama. I bet I know who sent you that
That's
one.
right.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, by the way, for our party on the 29th, it's going to be the Christmas music playlist of all time. So you better be here. Telling you what, we may actually provide the facility for those of us in the mastermind who may want to connect remotely. Now there's an idea. Just get yourself ready. There could be a Zoom link shared out to the mastermind group in the Facebook or some such, who knows? Impossible to predict. But that's the thing. We've got, next year we're going to have a smoking Christmas faux show. Because by next Christmas, y'all, we will have sold my partners and I will have sold a trailer load of barbecue smokers. And are you kidding me? Listen, we already have a backlog of something like 30 to 40 smokers, of people who just heard about the company, heard about what we're doing, and shut up and take my money. Seriously, people want smokers, and we're excited about it. We've already started burning steel and cutting and welding, and they're going to be rolling out in the next few weeks. Starting in the next few weeks, we are excited. 2022 is going to be a huge year. It's going to be an interesting test of something that John taught us a couple of weeks ago. Remember when I first mentioned talking about the smokers, and John had asked me to mention the price points, the price ranges of the smokers. Now, these things ain't cheap. You see what I'm saying? But I think I'd mentioned the phrase, there's a reason why Bentleys cost more than Chevrolets. And our clientele evidently realizes that and is very much aware of the old saying, there are people who understand, who people in the world, not so wise, people who know the price of everything and the value of nothing. We want our clientele to be those people who understand value. And they're showing up, which is fantastic. Absolutely phenomenal. And there's a couple of lessons in that, but enough about that. Next year is going to be a phenomenal, as you quite rightly pointed out, Missy, a phenomenal Christmas season, Christmas celebration for us, and we're going to be hosting it because it's going to be a very, very big business year for us. We're excited about it. Starting with this coming Christmas. We are excited about the celebration. A very dear friend of ours sent us a Christmas card the other day that said, Christmas is a little bit of home in our heart. That's nice, eh? I like that. So now then, you ready for a little history lesson? Small history lesson. It's about a thing that I'm going to share with you. It was written, first published anonymously. Some of you may recognize it from the history. First published anonymously on December 23rd, 1823, in a Troy, New York newspaper called The Sentinel. And it wasn't until 1837 that the author finally accepted credit for writing this little ditty. Wanted to keep his authorship secret initially because he was a professor, university professor, and the piece wasn't really considered scholarly work at the time of its writing and publication. It's said to have been based on the author's vision of St. Nicholas and a local Dutch handyman where he lived in New York. There are four, as far as we know, there are four handwritten copies of this poem that still exist. The three are in museums, and one was purchased at auction by an anonymous buyer in 2006 for the princely sum of $280,000. And, excuse me, the author is credited with largely creating the modern day image of Santa Claus, as the Dutch call him Sinterklaas, Father Christmas, as well as the domesticity, the homey feeling, being home for the holidays, especially on Christmas Eve. And I heard this most recently read by a good friend of mine, a podcast and show host named of Ivan Schulman, who did a wonderful reading for a children's hospital in Florida. Seems great minds think alike. He and I had the same idea at almost the same time. And my idea was to share this poem with you. And so I read this for the first time as I was preparing it, and I was brought back to childhood memories of snowy Christmas Eves and waiting up by the tree, or trying to wait up by the tree, and the joy and the secret magic that's imbued in Christmas. So enjoy. As you've probably guessed by now, it's by Clement Clark Moore. This poem is called "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," otherwise known as a visit from St. Nicholas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads, and Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the roof there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutter and threw up the sash. The moon, on the breast of the new-fallen snow, gave a luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount up to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry, his droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." My friends, Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, Happy New Year, and may your 2021 be festive in its final days, and may your 2022 be healthy and happy and prosperous and safe and successful, and may you make all your dreams come true. Thank you so much for spending this year with us in the John Lavinia Success Mastermind. 2022 has been a marvelous year in so many different ways. So many challenges, so many ups and downs, so many successes, so many learnings, so many, what's the word, John? So many moments of knowingnesses. Is that a word? It's been a fabulous 2021. And 2022, oh my goodness, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Thanks again, John, for starting this whole business. We appreciate you. I appreciate every one of you. We shall see you here and there sooner and later. Have a wonderful holiday season. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Live long and prosper, my friends.
Thank you, and the same to you too.
Bye for now.